Hello, guys. Welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is the daily news show. I'm your host, Khalid Mohidin, and this is the show that we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. So, as you can see by the title of this video, that it's changed since I put it up. And that's because Graeme Smith has responded to the comments made by Thami Tsolekile on Twitter. I'm going to be reading you that particular quote at the end of the show. So please stay tuned for Graeme Smith's comments at the end of the show. I will be reading them to you guys. I'll try to do it as quickly as possible and as coherently as possible. Let's kick off the show first by talking about the main topic. And that was after a press release was sent to me this morning to be able to put it out to you guys and to show you guys what is going to be happening over the next couple of years. And I think this is something that has been set up for the future, and it's something that has recently been put together and has been spoken about for quite some time by the people involved. But now they've actually decided that they're going to actually take action and put something together. And it's about former cricketers and coaches who have played the game. About 40 black former Proteas cricketers and senior coaches met with the Cricket South Africa's board of directors and led by its president, Mr. Chris Nenzani, by means of a virtual meeting to discuss certain things that have happened this past couple of days. Now, we all know what has been happening over the last couple of days and all the talking points that has happened over the last couple of days, and there's been a lot. So for the guys that have tuned in, I know that the title has changed of this video. We're going to update you with Graeme Smith's comments, who has just released his comments about Thami Tsolekile and what he had to say about that. And I'll tell you those things at the end of the show. The first thing I wanted to talk about is about this particular group that has been put together, collective group that has been put together. This was in a response to a much publicized statement by former South African cricketers and senior coaches on 14 July 2020. And the ensuing revelations by the players about their personal experience of racial discrimination in cricket since unity. And this group has been put together, and there was a conference that was made. But instead of me explaining it to you, I got one of the people that are involved, or the former players that are involved, to speak to us. And I'm going to play you that first. And yes, Ravi, I know Graeme Smith has just published a statement. I'm going to read that statement to you guys at the end of this, after I do this segment of the show. So first of all, I'm just going to play you Tandi Tshabalala's comments and what he had to say with regards to obviously this group that has been formed. So listen carefully, guys, because it's something that you guys must listen to.
Yeah, I just thought, obviously, I should share my thoughts regarding what we stand for. I think over the last few days, over the last few weeks, there's been a lot of talk regarding the Black Lives Matter. And therefore, myself as being one of the players that has played at the highest level, and as somebody who's also experienced injustices in the system throughout my playing career, so I strongly and firmly therefore joined the group and joined the vision that we all have as players of color, moving forward and trying to rectify the issues that we've had to deal with in the past. I obviously I started my career in the Free State, and initially when I started, obviously I was a young guy, and without looking too much into these things, I think one was excited about the opportunity. I mean, coming from the township, when you are presented with the opportunity initially, you grab it with both hands. And as you grow as a person and as an individual and as a cricketer, you begin to realize that that certain things are not the same. And therefore, our stance, firstly, supporting Lungi Ngidi, has now grown into today trying to stand together to justify all of these issues. I think over the last couple of days, a few players have obviously spoken about their experiences. I have experienced similar things, and all of us throughout the last 10, 15, 20 years and prior to that, there seems to be similarity in terms of opportunities that were given to us, in terms of the discrepancies in the salaries that we've received over the years, over the opportunities having been selected. In my case, obviously, having been selected for the 2007 World Cup and carrying the drinks throughout the World Cup. We as the players have carried this pain, we've carried this burden over a long while, and I feel we feel that in the last couple of years, I think many of us have tried to speak out, but our voices were not strong enough. And I do believe now that because time has gone by, and there's a lot of us that have experienced similar outcry in terms of how we've been treated. It is therefore important that we stand firm and we stand together to bring about change, to make sure that generations to come don't have to experience what we've experienced. To hear the stories of my former teammates on media and what they have experienced, and to hear that it's very similar to the pain that I carry every day, really brings a lot of bad memories, and it opens all the new the old wounds again. And the best we can do as the current group is to make sure that we pave a different way for those that follow after us. So that is my stance. I believe that change needs to happen, and change needs to happen right now. Thank you so much, and God bless.
So those are the comments from Tandi Tshabalala. I want you guys to let us know in the comment section what you think about those. We have also a column from Alistair Fraser that speaks about the possibility of a Truth and Reconciliation TRC happening, reconciliation, truth and reconciliation are taking place, obviously. And he spoke about that. And just go look at that comments and what he had to say, on his experiences, etc. But as I told you, that something broke just before I went live, and I had to rush around and change the headlines quickly so that I can get this video up. And that is that Graeme Smith's comments has responded to Thami Tsolekile's comments and a lot of other comments that have been coming out about him. I'm going to be putting it up on the screen. Mind you, I think you need to make your screen a little bigger because I couldn't fit it all in. It's a pity that he posted actual images on Twitter, so I couldn't actually take the comments itself. But I will be reading them to you. So please stay tuned for that, guys. That's what's coming up next. My time as captain is littered with a lot. Okay, so let's start with this. I'm going to start right from the top, and I'm going to go through this. The following statement is made in my personal capacity, as it speaks to allegations made before my involvement with Cricket South Africa after my playing career. I've listened and read a lot of accounts on my time of leadership as South African captain. I would like to respond to some of the allegations that have been leveled against me, because I feel it is important to get a balanced perspective on a lot of the issues floating around South African cricket at the moment. It is also worth reiterating that many of the issues being brought up on public domains have never been brought to my attention before. So they have come as a surprise to me. I've taken the time to absorb and reflect on them, and I'm now responding. Thami Tsolekile was my captain at South Africa Schools junior level. I've never had an issue with him as a person, and he has never borne out the frustrations of his international career on a personal level. In fact, my personal relationship challenges with several of other players of all races have been well documented in the past. It was impossible for me to win everybody's approval at the same time, but that is the nature of professional sport. I look at many other respected captains around the world, and there are plenty of detractors and people who felt they were not given a fair chance under that time. Steve Waugh was regarded as one of the best captains in history, but some of the players around him have a different perspective. It is the nature of the job and something that I had to accept early. My time as captain is littered with a lot of players who were left out of the team before they thought it was time, because it was a collective decision to make the team in a new direction, or take the team in a new direction. Lance Klusener and Sean Pollock can attest to this. And there were very emotional discussions because they are both legends of our cricket history. Sean was ushered out of the test team in a similar manner to Makai when he felt he could have still done a job. Almost every player I have come across feels that they could have contributed more. We felt we needed more aggression in our seamers and adopted a rigid four-man attack. Makaya became the leader of the attack. It is easier to shift bowlers and batters around to suit the needs of a team, but some positions are specialist. Unfortunately, Thami was a wicketkeeper, which meant he was always only fighting for one position. I can understand how frustrating that must have been. And there have been several other excellent wicketkeepers that South African cricket never saw on an international stage, because keepers tend to stay in a team for long periods of time. That is also an international trend, not unique to South Africa. I may have been captain of South Africa for a long time, but I certainly didn't get every decision right. I never took the job to be popular, but did so with the best intentions for South African cricket. I should emphasize that I was never in charge of selection. I had an opinion as a captain, but the casting vote was with the coach and the selectors. In the case of 2012 tour to England, which Thami has alluded to, there was a whole panel of selectors. Thami was in the squad as reserve keeper to AB de Villiers, and this was communicated to him on both the England and Australia tours by Gary Kirsten, which has been previously acknowledged by Thami. I also never had any say on the financial structure. I did not determine contracts, and I also did not decide match fees. I was a player. The system has changed since then, because it was unfair on players who didn't play to not get compensated. But I never played a part in the original policy. Thami said he traveled alone on several trips, but that is a common trend on tours that are split according to formats. I often had to travel alone too, because I had to go via Johannesburg for press conference, when other players could go straight home. I'm a proud South African, and I'm proud to have captained my team for as long as I did. I played a part in one of the most successful periods of our cricket, and did so with a team that was constantly and organically transforming. The allegations and insinuations that have been made are extremely hurtful, and I deny them in the strongest possible sense. Every time I walked onto the field, I was proud to wear the South African Protea and to play alongside every one of the players with me. Some of my happiest memories were alongside Makai and Tini, as just one example. Our joint achievements at Lords in 2003, when he took 10 wickets and I made runs, the 4-3-8 game, when I went into the change room to find him sitting alone, stressing before he had to go out and bat, the Sydney game, when I broke my hand and then joined him out in the middle to try and save the test. I've walked a long path with many players, and it has not all been rosy. But it was in international sport, and there were some very tough decisions made. Decisions which I have been on the undesired side of myself. I was left out on the brink of the 2003 World Cup, having played the whole year before that. I was gutted, but had to understand. I was left out of the test team, and Ashwell Prince flown up to play ahead of me. It hurt, but I had to knuckle down and accept it. At the end of my career, I felt I still had more to give in ODI cricket when I was dropped, but Quinton de Kock has shown that it was his time. And over time, I've grown to understand that it was the right call for the team, and that was always been the crux of the decision made in my time. They were for the best of the team. I understand that the current environment is one where a lot of hurts are finally being aired out in regard with South African cricket, and I'm happy to engage in discussions in the right forum, even if it is uncomfortable, because I think we can only learn from our past and help to shape a better future. I've tried my level best to explain the decisions that I've made in my time as captain. I love South African cricket. That has always been my only motive in the game, to make South African cricket the best it can possibly be. Sincerely, Graeme Smith. Now, I want to hear what you guys have to say with regards to that. That was a very powerful statement made by Graeme Smith. And I want you guys to share this video, like this video, comment in the comment section below, because I want everybody possibly to go and see that statement and listen to that statement, and also know and listen to what we spoke about at the beginning of the statement. So that makes me allude to the next topic, basically, which I mentioned before, is that why you guys need to go look at Alistair Fraser's column on our website. Because perhaps he's right. Perhaps a TRC needs to be in place. Perhaps we need to all sit in a room. The boards need to sit in a room, former players, with this group that has just formed as well. And maybe they should talk it out and speak about the truth, speak about what they've experienced, and talk about the hard truths on how we can move this game forward. Because we can see that it's affecting everybody, not just future players, not just young up-and-coming players, but it's also affecting fans all around this country. And we want to be all together supporting the Proteas and actually being able to be proud to hashtag that Protea Fire hashtag whenever we are watching the sport. So please, guys, do that as a favor to us and as a favor to yourself. Please just like this video, share this video, comment in the comment section below, subscribe. On a lighter note, please download the latest magazine. It's on the bottom of the screen and also in the description below. We will not stop talking about these issues and try to give you the best possible content that we can. Cricket fans, we want this platform to be all about you. So please join us on every single way possible and support us in the best way that you can. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope that I gave you guys the best possible update. Look here, mind you, I'm sorry for all the stumbling, etc. I'm still trying to getting used to this. So please, I would like to hear your comments and give me some tips going forward. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys, and I will see you again tomorrow.